All right, everybody, are you excited about the future of cars? I am going to pull up an article that was just released within the last month or so from Car and Driver, and it is titled Future Cars Worth Waiting For That Are Coming Out Between 2025 and 2029. I'm going to go through these. We're going to get Shane's reaction and commentary from myself. Let's kick this off. All right, Shane. So this is kind of interesting because now they're going to mix some EVs with some gas cars in here, right? I know we're not
Sure,
the biggest
sure.
EV fans, but let's check this out.
Bated
You
breath.
and I
I'm
both,
waiting.
yes, you and I both enjoy reading stuff from Car and Driver. You know, it's a place we reference. All right, here we are. Let's look at this. So the first one up is the 2026 BMW 3 Series and M3. Um, I want your reaction. You're a BMW guy. You've been looking at this. You and I have both talked about how the current design language on it's a little Lego-ish.
Lego-ish. Yeah. So
But
they
this
really
looks like
got,
the front's been redone.
yeah, well, they got railed on I wish you could compare and contrast, but they got railed on the current one because of the big ugly grill. And so now they're going back to a more sleeker look. So I don't hate that. I don't like yellow, but I don't hate that. I actually think in person that might look pretty good. So I don't hate that one. I could warm up to that.
Me too. Me too. I think that this is an improvement on the current design, in my opinion, and I don't hate it. Of course, the idea that this is the wheel gap you're going to get on the consumer, that's not going to be that way. Look at the wheel gap here. It's all lowered. They always do that.
Well, that's got to be an
Okay,
EV because look at the little charging
Shane,
port in the front.
how
Yeah.
about a Corvette SUV?
I've seen this and barf. I think this is I don't I know they're trying to join the ranks of the Porsche Cayenne and the Lamborghini and the Alfa Romeo. And look, if I'm buying a Corvette, it's not that. There's nothing about that that says Corvette. No thanks. That's a hard pass.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a
gosh,
terrible looking car, but yeah.
it's so tough because my branding roots come in. You know that I do that for a living, right? I talk a lot about brands and stuff and brand proliferation and brand extension and this is tough for me because in the mind of a consumer, a brand can really only be one thing. And in the mind of consumers, when I say Corvette, you're not thinking about an SUV. A Corvette
No,
is a
no.
two-seated sports car that's built for performance, right? And so they're better off creating another like why can't GM just be happy with their Cadillac division for performance SUVs? I don't understand why you have to like you're actually diminishing
Yes,
the brand equity of Corvette
yes.
by doing this. Just like I'm on the road and I saw the Lamborghini SUV, terrible,
That's a terrible idea.
Terrible,
terrible.
terrible.
I think the
So
Porsche SUV is not that inspiring. All
but
right.
again, it's share of the market. Some business guy, you're in this business, looked and said, "Oh my goodness, the most popular is this luxury SUV. We could really get in this." Go down and scroll down to what does it say about the engine choices? Because again, if it's a Corvette, they should have one engine choice. See, a
So a
turbocharged.
four-cylinder on the low end. So you're going to get a Corvette SUV with a four-banger on the low end, but up to a 6.2 liter V8. Shane, so seriously, you're driving a Corvette brand with a four-banger in it. That's just it's ridiculous. Shane,
You can't.
it's
That's what I'm
absolutely
saying.
ridiculous.
So, Jared, the Corvette Club on Saturday morning, you come cruising up in this and you pop the hood to
Yeah.
your turbo
Oh,
four
laughed at.
banger.
You're absolute laughed at. You're
All right,
laughed
go.
off
All
out
right.
of the yeah. You're like, go home. You don't even get a spot at the
Go
Cars and
home.
Coffee.
You don't get to say it's a Corvette.
All right, here's what's next. Now,
Ooh.
I don't know a lot about the Corvette Zora, but as far as the C8 and what this is, yeah, And this all-wheel drive monster is going to top 1,000 horsepower. Okay.
Well, but this is pretty typical, Jared, and it's not all ICE engine. It's hybrid.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. It's a hybrid. That's what they're doing now. And it's interesting. But it's also going to be marked way the heck up. And this is not a car that's even attainable for most of us. So why am I even looking at this, right? Shane, Shane, I want to know what you think of this. Doesn't this remind you of like the Baja Beetles that were like back in the day, the sand dune buggy stuff? Yeah.
What am I looking at? Is this a
we just got done talking about brand proliferation, and here we are, right?
Is this a Hot Wheel? I mean, who's driving this daily? It's a full Baja off-road. This is obviously a concept car, but I'm not sure there's even a market for this. This is.
I'm sure people are going to comment and say, "Oh, dude, that's awesome," or whatever. But again, when I think of a Mustang, that ain't it. That is not it.
To order straight away.
What?
Here's the Genesis GV90. I'm not into EVs. An electric SUV is definitely not something I'm interested in. I don't know if anybody's excited about this. Design's kind of cool.
This is a trend. This is a trend with the EVs, is that because you don't need the radiator, is this seamless, almost spaceship design with integrated lights. So you can see there's just, it looks like it's in that, what do they call that? The clay phase, the model phase. You look at it and it's a little too aesthetically sleek for me. It's like, you've got to have something, I don't know. It looks like they're just trying to be too space age. Like it's, I mean, and I like the Genesis brand, and I know a lot of the sedan Genesis are going away, and the higher ones, like, these are nice, and I'm sure that's gonna be nice, but it's like it's over the top.
It is, and I wish that I didn't know it's an EV by looking at it. I really do. I wish we would get to the point where I could look at a car and be like, I don't know if it's an EV or a regular car, but they're making them like so like you can instantly tell by the wheels, by just,
of course,
as
this
you
is what I'm
point out,
saying.
everything
It's
about,
so obvious.
you instantly tell, and I just wish that do they need to do that? I don't know.
But here's the other thing. Go back up. Look in the paragraph. This is the thing that bothers me. It's 2026, and look at it says a drive range of around 250 miles. They still have not figured out the range. That is exactly in 2020 when they started coming out in 2019, 250. We are in 2026. That should be 500-mile range.
Yeah,
they still
Shane,
have not figured
it's
that
a
out.
great point. It's a great point because range anxiety is real. What do you think? You're a Honda guy. What do you think of this?
Yeah, so in high school, my buddy drove a Honda Prelude. One of the coolest cars in the 90s was the Honda Prelude. I just loved the coupe design. The problem I have with this is when you flashed it at me, and the first time I saw it looks too similar to the Nissan Z. It's kind of a Nissan Z, Toyota Supra, Honda Civic Type R, and if you go back to the original Prelude, it had more of a square back end with a cool little spoiler. I wish they would have stuck with that. I mean, it's not bad. I like it, and I'm glad they brought it back. I just hope that it performs as good as it looks, but they're not. They're going to throw some naturally aspirated 200 horsepower.
And bummer. That they're not going to put a manual in it, of course, that's the way but no, I had the same reaction you, is that there is a lot to like in this design, but you're right. It looks like the Z. It looks very Z-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what's next. You ready? I'm not EV Jaguar.
Boy.
EV Jaguars. I'm just I'm not.
Yeah, no thanks.
Was that a fart? I don't know. I can taste it.
Jeep Cherokee hybrid for 2026. I mean,
Yeah.
really?
Yawn.
Yeah, exactly. Snooze. I mean, come on.
Hit the snooze button.
Another Jeep
snooze.
Recon EV. I mean, that looks like a Bronco, doesn't it? Look
It
like
is.
the
It's
new
a mini Bronco.
Yep.
The
I'm
Jeep
just not.
Recon.
Now, here's what's interesting. We were just talking about Kia on our last video. Yeah. Here is the newly designed Telluride, and it is different. It looks different. So,
but they so if you read that first line, it's been a 10 best award winner. So they're going to their design team and they're going, look, you don't need to do much to this car. It's a winning format. Why don't you just do a little refresh and make some little design changes? So that's why when I looked at it, I'm like,
yeah,
that's not much different than it is now. It's a pretty cool looking SUV.
It is. Yeah. And if you really look at the Kias today, Shane, in fact, when I was shopping, I was sending you pictures of some of the SUVs, and your reaction was always very positive. You're like, that is a really nice design.
Yeah.
Well, they've got some rock star designers that they've brought over from some major brands to Kia, and that's why I think they've kind of rocketed ahead a little bit. The designs at the sister company Hyundai are just not quite as inspiring enough. The Palisade's getting ready to be completely redesigned for next year, and the design language at Hyundai is going more with this kind of origami kind of look, kind of angular, very flat, right?
This is a way better design than the Genesis. There's depth and texture to this. That's what I'm saying. The Genesis was just a little too spaceshipy sleek. Look, I like the design and the if you look along the window, the molding that goes all the way up and meets the window up. There's some cool design to that.
There is.
Yeah.
Everything goes together real nice. It's got a good flow. There's no bad angles. Their cars are nice. Let's see what we got. I mean, really, for 2028, an electrified sport, a Lexus, that's a complete concept car. That's never going to see the light of day that way.
No.
I'm tired of these I don't know. What do you think about the 2026 Maxima?
Hideous.
Nissan's in trouble, but that is not going to do it. That's not going to save them.
That's hideous.
Shane, I have not shopped Nissan in years. I don't
Jared, the last time I did was when I drove my Nissan Altima 3.5 S manual when they first came out with the V6 and the Altima, the coolest car ever, super fast, and then it just kind of went.
Yeah,
there.
They're a hurting unit. They may go bankrupt. Who knows? The Polestar, the mall that's down here, Shane. I don't know if you've seen this. There's a trend now where they actually have car manufacturers taking space in malls, and the kind of foofy mall here that's got the Tiffany's in it and all that kind of stuff. They've got a handful of them in there, and one of them is Polestar. So I was able to go in and kind of look through, and again, it's all EV stuff.
Jared, go back and look at that so first of all, the wheels are hideous. Nobody buys a Swedish, whatever that is. They have to do better, but it very much looks like a Ferrari and some Corvette C8 hues in the front. I mean, it's
right here. It sure does. But again, these concept cars with the 1-inch wheel gap is like, come on, dude. You're not. Yeah, that's not
agreed.
When it's the right Porsche, I really, really like what I see. What I think everybody knows the knock on Porsche is that they all look the same, right? It's all, here comes the new Porsche and it looks the same. But no, man, it's hard not to like some of these Porsches and look at that thing. But that's an EV.
Mid-engine, that is I love it. I do love Porsche, but I want the mid-engine version right there that says due in 2027. I don't want the EV version. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And the gas versions that they're promising. So talk to me when they do that, and I'll be very interested. I don't know if I want to pay the price, but
yeah.
Here we go.
There's your Rivian. Jared, the lights just look like, it looks like a snake, the front end of a snake from like the Jungle Book. It's like
I was waiting for you to comment.
See the little snake, the little eyes, and if you just drew like a little fork tongue coming out of the front. It's
Yep. Yeah, you put a little tongue right here. It's like, yeah, hey. I'm not.
Yeah.
I know somebody at work that has one.
I can wait
they
for
seem
that.
to love it, but
Yeah.
I just don't understand we live in this era of disposable cars. I mean, I was watching, I think, Lucky Lopez's channel the other day, and he was talking about the EVs, the EV models that have suffered the most depreciation, and Rivian was in there. And some of these models, Shane, have suffered like $100,000 of depreciation. One of them was the Porsche, and it was the EV Porsche that had suffered like almost $100,000 of depreciation. It's like, that is insane. I mean, that's insane. And another one.
No. I want feedback from the what have we missed? 'Cause I don't know if you're done yet, but what have we missed? What are you guys waiting for? What have you seen that is exciting? Because so far these are just kind of
Nothing's
yeah.
blowing me away. Nothing's blowing me away. I'm not sitting here going, oh my gosh, I got to wait for it. There's not, in fact, what's really weird, we've had a couple of ooh and ah moments, but overall, I haven't seen one thing that you and I are like, oh, I'm waiting for that car. I cannot wait for that car. How about the Outback? Again, just what? 2026 Outback. Shane, it's like, this thing looks like it's Shane. This thing looks like it's got a load in its butt. I don't know what's going on, man. It's like,
sorry, what? Subaru fans, that is atrocious looking.
It's so bad. Like, who designed this? It's like, that thing looks, I mean,
that is hideous.
That's sorry, but this is like the cousin of the Aztec. Remember the Pontiac? That's the Pontiac Aztec just about killed that brand. This thing is horrible.
So bad. That's so bad.
Oh, WRX. But again,
STI.
EV. What? Why is? I'm sorry, car and driver. Just stop with most of these are EVs. I'm just really 2027 MR2.
I bet you that is a tiny car, probably smaller than a Miata. I don't even know. Concept a car called the FTSC that got us. No thanks.
The new MR2 will likely be electrified.
See, I feel like car and driver is funded by EV. Everything's
Shane,
EV.
What is wrong with Toyota? What is going on, Shane?
That is as bad as the Subaru.
Yes, this looks like it was assembled out of parts that were left over of other cars. Shane, what is going on? That is horrible.
That's so bad. That's not even aesthetically pleasing. It is so bad. Sorry, RAV4 owners. That's hideous. Oh my goodness. Some of these are like...
Volvo, is that a brand? I mean, Shane, when you and I walked that storage lot, there were a ton of Volvos out there. And
yeah, Volvo's a nice brand. I mean, that's actually a nice looking car. Again, I don't know why they feel like they have to put these weird looking Hot Wheels on there. It just ruins that. That's actually a nice looking car. I mean, it looks very BMW, Mercedes-ish, it's a luxury brand. I can see that. Again, it's going to be an E something. It's going to be an EV. Electrified.
Well, they say that, yeah, it's going to have an EV counterpart, right? So it's going to be like dual drive motor, 510 horsepower, whatever. Again, that's 2026. Okay. It's a nice looking sedan. I'm not going to say it's not. Okay. That's it. So
that's it. All right. Well, there's only one I was really excited about, and I know you were too, and that is the 1, 2, 3 Subaru Outback. Yes, sure.
I do think with the new administration and what is going on with emissions and forcing manufacturing to come back to the U.S., we are entering, I think, a very interesting time. And I think that we have the potential to see some very eye-opening, exciting cars coming out, right? We're just going to have to sit and wait.
The shackles are off. The restraints are off.
Yes.
Creativity is.
Yes. Exactly. We're just going to need to wait because I think we're going to see the return of V8s, and there's nothing like the sound of a V8. Sorry, everyone, but you hooking up your fart muffler to a four banger. All right.
Well, good.
Until
Thanks,
next time.
Jared. All right. Thanks
for
everyone.
doing
We'll
it,
see you.
Shane.
All right.
Talk to you later. Bye.